live stream video. So I want to make sure, can everybody hear me okay? Can you hear me? Give me a thumbs up if you can hear me. So if you're new here, my name is Brandy, and this channel is all about horses. Hi, Lucy. Thank you so much. Wow, we made 20 bucks already in Super Chat. That's really awesome. Thank you, Lucy. I really appreciate that. So if you are new here, I do live stream videos Monday through Friday. Right now, while everything is chaotic in the world with this COVID-19 that's been going on. So I call it the Corona Chronicles. So I'm just here trying to bring the barn to everybody who can't go to the barn. And then also on Saturdays and Sundays, I am editing videos that I upload to my channel. So there's a lot going on here. So if you love horses, I think it's a pretty good place to be. So hello, Wisconsin. Thank you for joining. So today I thought it would be fun to show you guys. I'm gonna trim a few ponies, but particularly I thought you guys would like to see Daisy get trimmed. If you were here for my video on Friday, so just a few days ago, I did some rope work with Daisy's feet, and that's always fun to watch. But anyway, she's a total stinker, and she always keeps me on my toes when I'm trimming her, and it is what it is. So luckily she's not very big, but sometimes she puts up a nice little fight for me. So, but I'm going to talk about a few things. I'll show you guys what's in my trimming box, and I am not by any means a professional trimmer. I'm not. So I just happen to trim my own horses, and I've been doing it for about 12 years now. So I don't really work on horses that my horses all have pretty darn nice feet. So I don't really have any horses with major issues or anything like that. And I have a good friend who is a barefoot trimmer who she helps me a lot. So I'm super thankful for her. She trims all my boarders' horses, and I have some other acquaintances that have helped me throughout the years too with trimming. So that's where my education with trimming comes from, is just trial and error on my own part, things that I've researched. Pete Ramsey is a great resource for anybody who wants to learn how to start trimming yourself. But I had a lot of help from my farrier that I had for 20 years. He was very supportive in helping me just kind of get started. Gave me some tools, that sort of stuff, and I really appreciate that. So I believe that this is something that anybody can do. And, you know, if my horses needed shoes or anything like that, that's a totally different situation. And I don't think that I would personally want to learn how to do all that, just because I don't have the time for it. But I really like trimming my own horses, because the way I look at it is I'm going to be sitting there holding them anyway for the farrier, so I might as well learn how to do it myself. So a basic trim is something that, you know, is not that difficult for me. So I save myself a lot of money by trimming my own horse's feet. So when I first started doing it, hi Tiffany, thank you so much. I'm so glad that you're able to join today. Thank you. Tiffany just super chatted $10. That's awesome. So where was I going? I don't remember what I was saying. That's totally normal. So when I started trimming my horse's feet, so anybody that has worked with horses, you know, it's not a job that you do because it's really all that lucrative. It's a job that you do because you're very passionate about it. So for me, the way that I looked at it 12 years ago was, okay, I need to find a way that I can bring in some more income, because I need to just be able to make more money so I can survive. So, but I didn't want to raise my rates or anything like that at that time. And I thought, well, what can I do to save money instead of making more? How can I save it? Because basically that's the same thing. So I said, well, I've always been curious about trimming feet, so I think I'll learn how to do that. So I started trimming my horses, and I had 2 horses that had shoes on. So I did pull their shoes off and started trimming, and I think the first year I saved myself around $5,000. So that was a pretty significant raise that I gave myself. So granted, it's a lot of hard work. I did have to, invest in some tools, but it was nowhere near what I was spending on having somebody else trim them and put shoes on and all that kind of stuff. So like I said, my horses are all barefoot, and if they needed shoes for any reason, sure, I don't have anything against shoes. I just don't really think shoes are as necessary as a lot of people think they are. And I think for a long time, putting shoes on a horse was just kind of the thing that you do. So, but I don't see a point to any of my horses having shoes with the job that they have. So we've got, our indoor arena has really soft sand, so my horses, they've got like the best footing that they can be on in there with all that sand. So that's really helpful for keeping their feet, when they're ridden a lot, their feet actually get kind of worn down from that sand because it's abrasive enough, but not so much that it wears them down too much. And it's nice and soft, provides a lot of cushion. There's no rocks in there or anything. When we go out and trail ride, I do have some hoof boots that we use, and I can talk about those in a different video. But those are really helpful for just going over rocks and stuff. Hi, Lottie. Hi, Kathy. Thanks for joining. So, hi, Sarah. But yeah, so my horses aren't doing a job where they need to have shoes. Somebody asked about Manzer in one of the last videos I posted about when he'll be old enough for shoes. I guess when a horse is done growing, or when their hooves are fully grown, that's, if you're going to put shoes on them, that's the time to do it. But, for him being, he'll be a year old in a couple weeks, he's definitely too young for something like that, and it's just totally not necessary. It's a waste. So, but, if my horses were on a lot of really difficult terrain or a lot of different terrain, or, working where they're on areas that would kind of wear their feet down a lot, or they would be sore all the time or something like that, or they needed a lot of traction besides what God's already given them, I definitely, would consider it. Not against shoes, but I think that horses are healthiest just kind of left as they are with regular maintenance. So, but yeah, people ask me about shoes all the time. I'm not against it. Mine just don't need it. So if you've got the ability to have a horse that can just go barefoot, let them. So Kathy, you're asking me about Manzer's feet. No, he does not have a club foot. And I'll be sharing his first trim video pretty soon. And you'll see in there where I talked to my friend who's a barefoot trimmer, and she confirmed that no, his feet are totally normal. And sorry, I just got distracted by the cats over in the yard. So, but anyway, let's get moving on to trimming some ponies. I'll grab my tools. I'll show you guys. This is my trimming stool, nothing fancy. I actually stole it out of my husband's garage, and I think I've had it for, I don't know, probably close to 10 years now. And I just love it. It's perfect. I can scooch around them pretty easily. And so I like to have a stool. My kids think this is the best thing ever. They like to see how fast they can fly across the barn floor on it, and they push each other. So, but yeah, this thing has been really great. And it's just from a basic hardware store. All right, let me get my tools. So in the barn right now, I have Lucky is installed, Daisy, and Muffin. Those are all the horses I have in tonight. So if I can get the ponies trimmed, that's kind of a lot, especially when you're bending over with the little ones. I don't really like to trim that many in a day. We'll see if I get how many of them I get through. I might only do one or two. We'll see. So I'm not really all that efficient, I guess, and I do get sore from trimming. So, all right, in my basic tools, I have my hoof stand. I think this is called hoof jack. Pretty sure that's what it is. Doesn't have anything written on it anywhere. You'd think that they would put their logo on here at least. Wouldn't that be smart? Because what if, say, a person who had a YouTube channel was showing off their equipment. Not a single thing. I'm pretty sure it's called a hoof jack or something similar. There's one that's green. That's a lot more expensive, and then this is the next one down from that. So I went with the cheaper version because I really didn't need anything more expensive. So, and it's got a magnet on it, and this is for stuff like that. So this is super handy though for anybody that has a hard time holding up a horse's foot, like kids for instance. I use this for lessons all the time, especially when I was pregnant, because I got kids who, you know, they can't hold up a hoof by themselves because they're so little. So this has been super handy. My daughter absolutely loves to use this hoof jack, and it makes cleaning out feet so much easier for her because all she has to do is once the foot's on there, she can just kind of hold it in place, and then she stands on the edge of the stand. She puts her foot on there so it's nice and stable, and she can clean it out. She doesn't have to worry about holding it up too. So it's really great for the little ones to use, or anybody, I guess, that's got a bad back, or you just, you know, don't want to hold your horse's foot up. It works really, really good. So I've got a few different things in here. There's a few things I want to add to my trimming box. First of all, I want to ask, can everybody hear me okay? Is this a good spot? I know with these live streams, we have a hard time sometimes with it buffering and such, but I think I got it in an area that might work out okay. So if somebody could just sort of give me a, you know, indication if it's good or not, that would be fabulous. Thank you so much, guys. That's really awesome. Thanks. Now, Manzer is in the stall, and he is beating up his feed bucket. So he's going to be a little bit loud in there, I think. So, all right. So you wonder what all the commotion is. It's him. Okay, so this is, you know, why on earth? Okay, here it is. Why do people put their logos on their stuff? But this one is. This is my favorite rasp so far, and this is by Save Edge. And I think I ordered it through Center Forge, C-E-N, Manzer, stop interrupting. C-E-N-T-A-U-R, Forge, F-O-R-G-E. I'm pretty sure that's how you say it, but from that website. And the handle, I probably ordered the handle separately, but this is the best gosh darn handle I've ever used. I wonder if I have one of my old ones in here and I can show you. Oh look, my hoof jack also comes with this in it, so you can put the hoof on top of it. I literally don't think I've ever used it. You can just swap out the tops, but I just use this cradle part for everything, and it worked out just fine. But I also, as you can see, I've worn it down quite a bit, and it's probably from, I'm sure it's from rasping it, and I'm sure that's what this is for, but this is sheer laziness and just not switching out my stuff. Okay, somebody said that the video is lagging and the voice and the video are not together. Bummer. Sorry about that. I don't know what to do to fix that, but let me see. Yes, so now here's the thing, is this is a bigger rasp. I got a few different ones. Well, here's, whoops. Oh, this one's broken. I'm like, why do I have bits and pieces? So this one's actually broken, but, so see this? I'll just show you a size reference, okay? So I went with this Save Edge one because it's so much wider. Can you see the difference in the width on this? So that makes a really big difference. You can just cover so much of the hoof when you've got this bigger one. I really, really love it. But something that I have to say negative about this, when you're working with minis and ponies, it's really hard to get under them with this big rasp. So in the same for my nippers, here's my nippers right here. These are so long that it's really hard to get underneath their bellies. So you got to kind of contort the feet in a way that you can trim them. So it's kind of hard. So if I were to add anything to my toolbox here, well, I got 3 tools that I want to add really bad. I want to add some shorter nippers so I can work on the minis a lot easier. And these are amazing. These are GE. I do have these little ones here. See how these ones are smaller? But they are, these are GE as well. But they're kind of worn out. I've already had them redone a few times, and I just don't think that they've got much life left to them. Maybe I'll try them today. But another thing that I want to get is there's a little like spring that you can add to these so they open back up so you can use them one-handed easier. I have a hard time trying to open them, so I'm like fidgeting with this. So a lot of times I gotta switch and use two hands. But a spring to open these up, they make them and they're pretty cool, and I really need to get one. So, you know, it's like a mechanic. Mechanics need tools, and they need the right tools to do a job. And when you do this job all the time and you don't have the right tools, it makes it complicated. So I need to just bite the bullet and get the tools that I need to make this job a little easier. Since, I mean, I trim horses ideally every 6 to 8 weeks. So it just depends on the horse and how often they're used and when I think about it, really. But, so yeah, I definitely need to add some things. Now, I used to have this nice little leather case for my rasps, but these bigger rasps don't fit in this case, so I can't use this anymore. Just kind of a bummer, but okay, I have, let's see, what else do I have in here? Here's my shoe pullers, which I used one time. I used these one time to pull off, well, I pulled off 2 sets of shoes. It's the only time I've ever used these. So that's kind of, they're just sitting on the bottom of my bucket here. Oh, here's the old style handle. I hate this handle. It just never stayed on at all. And I actually was using my rasp without a handle because this was all I had. And it just never stayed on. This must not be the one it went on. But anyway, it was terrible. Never, ever, ever stayed on. So I was always just flinging it off when I was working. So some important things to have. Now I got a plethora of different kinds of knives. So I have right-handed, I have left-handed, I have nice ones, I have not so nice ones. So I've got just an assortment of different knives, and I'll show you my favorite one. And this is funny actually because I have a right hand and a left hand because I can work with both hands pretty good. But I had to write on them which ones, if they were right or they left, because I could never tell just by looking at it. So, but yeah, I never use these ones anymore because I have a really sweet one that I'll show you. Okay, and then I have a little ruler that I don't use nearly as often as I should. I should actually put this on the top here so I use it more often. And, oh, here's another kind of handle. Just terrible, 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 terrible. This handle is amazing. It stays put and it feels really good in your hand. Okay, so the only things I'm gonna need are, I'm trying to read. Rex, thank you so much. That's awesome. I will take them. That'd be great. Okay, so I'm going to put this right on my stand here, so I've got it. Here's my case for my awesome hoof knife, but there's no hoof knife in it because I didn't put back the case when I was done with it last. That was smart. So here is, I just trimmed Blossom yesterday. So I was working on her feet, and I remember I cleaned up everything in a hurry so I could get back in the house, but this is my favorite knife. It's so cool because it's right or left hand, doesn't matter. And it is made out of camel bone. Now, this is a very special tool to me. I'm not the kind of gal who gets excited about rings or jewelry or cars, or really, like there's not a lot that I get super excited about, but a hoof knife? I was so excited. This is like the best Christmas present ever from my husband. It was just awesome. And he had this custom made for me. And it was the year, let's see, I'm pretty sure it was 2013 that he gave it to me. But I was pregnant. So I was so bummed because I love this so much. I was so excited to get this new knife. And I'm like, oh, I can't really use it. It was just not, the timing was terrible. So I remember when I started trimming again after I had Brody, I was so excited to use this hoof knife. And it worked so good. It was just amazing. So this was a fabulous gift. Handmade. Davidson is all it says on the back. So, okay. So this is awesome. This is my favorite trimming tool that I have. Okay. So it definitely needs to be sharpened. I got to take care of that. Now, different kinds of hoof picks. Are you guys bored yet with looking through everything that's in my trimming box? Is this boring? Okay, I've got a brush. I really don't use this very often. I just use it, and I don't know why I don't use it anymore. I just use the one on the hoof pick. So I've got two different kinds of hoof picks that I use that are in this box. And this one here is like solid steel, and it will not bend. If you've ever had to pry something out of a horse's hoof or pry off a hoof boot, and you've used this kind, these suckers bend, okay? I really like the feel of these, and I like the fact that there's a brush, but they do bend, and they're cheap. They're like, this one is more fancy because it has a little rubber handle on it, so it's got some grippy to it, but usually they're like $2. This one was probably $5 or $7. So, but these suckers, I love the fact that you can really pry stuff out, and it works really good for snowballs. If you've got snowballs in your horse's feet, this works really good for getting those suckers out because it's got a really sharp end on it too. Can you see how sharp that end is versus that one? See the difference? So I really, really like this one for that stuff. But I love the brush on this. So what would be perfect is maybe if this one had a brush on the end of it or something, that would be ideal. Because I always feel like I need two because this one isn't a brush. I like to have a brush. And I don't like to have two different things with me. Okay. So that's pretty, oh, and then one more thing. Now, I don't seem to have problems with my horses getting thrush very often. And I don't really have a reason behind that. So like last time my boarders horses got trimmed, they all had, or most of them had a little bit of thrush. And the only thing I can think is maybe it's because they really haven't been used. So they're all out just hanging out in the pasture right now. Whereas my horses are still coming in and being used and such. And I haven't noticed any of mine having any thrush. So but it's just kind of always been sort of a mystery to me. We live in a very wet, muddy area, and so you would think that most of the horses here would have thrush all the time, and it's been pretty darn, they've been really, really good. I'm distracted by watching my daughter over there. She's running around in the rain with chickens and ducks. So, but anyway, when the occasion does happen where we end up with thrush, I like to use, this stuff has worked really well, and oh my gosh, I haven't bought this in forever. So it's just a powder that you put in there. But the biggest thing is you gotta put it in and let them sort of sit in a stall or something for a while, let their feet kind of dry, because otherwise it just gets washed right back off the second you put them back out. So, but here's my tips for thrush, is the more often your horse is exercised, typically, your horse is not going to end up with thrush as much as one who's not exercised, okay? So my horses are brought into dry sand, and they are moved around often, and they get a lot of exercise. So another thing too is the biggest thing that kills thrush is oxygen. So when you can bring a horse in and clean their feet out and be in an area where it's, you know, there's not constant contact with the ground. So like mine come in, they stand on pea gravel. Hi, baby.
Hi.
Hello, Clover. Hello, Tova. You can come in and say hi. There's Tova. Tova wants to learn how to trim, so I might let her take a little stab at it. We'll see. So I'd love for her to learn how to trim the ponies.
Mommy, Mrs. got a ukulele for her birthday.
Sweet. We'll talk about that later.
You know,
okay?
we're going to make a clash band.
That's awesome. Okay, we'll talk about that later though.
Sweet!
So, but anyway, so
What if I have your gloves?
sure, you can wear my gloves. Just don't get them all soaked. Here, you know what? There's some insulated ones here. These ones are warmer. Yep, those ones are warm. So, that's an old sock that I use to cover my rasp. So here's my tips for keeping your horse thrush free. Bring them in, clean their feet out. I don't do it like every day or anything. You know, I'm not obsessive about it, but I make sure that they get their feet cleaned at least once, you know, during a session. And let them stand somewhere where they can get some air to their feet. It's really good for them to be able to dry it out. So pea gravel to me is a really great place for them to stand because airflow still gets in there. Or on like concrete or rubber mats if they can just stand there for a little while. Or in a stall with some shavings. That's great too. Move around. It's so good for them. So, all right, I'm going to put this away. I don't need it. And then one more thing too I want to talk about is, oh, careful with her. Oh, there she is. You can bring her over here. She's trying to figure out, Tova asked me the other day why Clover doesn't like to sit on her shoulder. And I said, you know, I think your shoulder is just too small. Because Clover the kitty loves to be on people's shoulders. So the most important tool in my toolbox are these gloves. These are just cheap John Deere gloves. They're just like gardening type gloves. And I love these because they don't slip and my gloves don't get shredded by my rasp. Because if you're wearing leather gloves, they're going to get shredded in no time.
These ones?
Yep, see, okay, here's a good example. See these? These are my old trimming gloves. They get shredded. Those are like my winter trimming gloves. These are my not freezing. So,
Then what
anyways.
gloves can I wear to trim?
Well, you can wear those, that's fine. So, I love these kind of grippy, just the gardening type gloves. They work really, really good for trimming. And something else too is they get really stinky when you're dealing with feet, with horses' hooves. Whatever it is that you're using has a tendency to reek, so these gloves smell so bad. I try to let them air out really well and everything, but they just stink, so I don't want to bring these into my house. And trimming hooves is pretty much like the grossest job there is.
Can we share those?
We share them? Sure,
Yeah.
you can wear them when I'm ready for you to wear them, okay, or when I'm done. But yeah, as far as like anybody that's married to a farrier, oh gosh, I feel bad for them because it is pretty much the stinkiest job. I can't imagine many other jobs that are as stinky as somebody who deals with thrushy feet or abscesses or anything like that. It's just really pretty gross. Jason can always tell, he's like, were you trimming feet today? I'm like, yeah, is it that obvious? He's like, yes. Okay.
This is where my mom keeps all
Don't-
of her like little things.
Okay, now don't move that around me. Okay, so let's get to it. And I'm going to put my stuff away here and just keep out the things that I need. So I'm going to need that. I'm going to need my hoof knife. And I'm going to need a hoof pick. So those are just the basic tools that I'm going to need. And I might actually keep out my little ruler. I need a new one of these too. My ruler is not, I just don't, it's not that great. Anyway, I'm going to keep this out too because I might use it. I've just seen other ones that I think might be a little bit more, a little bit better. Okay. So.
Can I sit on the wheelie stool?
No, because I'm going to need it. The first one I'm going to trim is Daisy because she's going to be the naughty one. So Tova, I'm going to go get Daisy real quick. You can hang out and chat with folks if you'd like. Tell them what you would like to do, I guess.
What do you mean like what to do?
What?
What do you mean like what to do?
I don't know. Talk about riding horses. What's your favorite thing about horses?
What's my favorite horse?
Sure.
My favorite horse is one of Mommy's favorite horses.
What's that?
I've barely even seen him, but Poco.
Aww. Yeah, Tova was, I have video actually from when Tova was a baby.
Can I brush her?
Yeah, please do.
Before you bring her?
Grab a shade. Well, I'll work on her while you're brushing her. hard. I actually, well, Tova's brushing her real quick. It's funny, I had issues with carpal tunnel really bad when I was pregnant with Tova, and then like 9 months, the whole 9 months following Tova being born, I had tendonitis. So I had carpal tunnel and tendonitis, and it was horrible. It was absolutely horrible. I couldn't use, ouch, I think it was my left hand, but I couldn't use it at all. It was just terrible. And with all the, you know, usually I've got a lot of kids out at the barn that volunteer, call them my barn rats. They're just here all the time. They brush horses, they clean up paddocks, they do all kinds of stuff, and it really takes a big load of work off of me. So, but now since nobody's been around, and I'm doing everything on my own, I'm getting my carpal tunnel back, my right hand. And so I'm trying to baby it a little bit and not do the tasks that really bother it. Oops, careful. So the tasks that really bother it are shedding horses, so working with a shedding blade constantly, and picking up manure. So with the hoof pick, not necessarily shoveling, but like cleaning manure up out of the paddock over here, and or picking up manure in the arena. But mostly it's over here because now I've got horses in this paddock again, where I hadn't for a while. So, but since weaning Manzer and stuff, I've got horses over there and Miss Kitty being over there. And then another job that seems to bother it for some reason is sweeping the barn floor. So yes, it does wake me up at night, Kathy. Actually, my arm goes numb. So it just bothers me, you know, when I bend it. I can deal with the sleeping and stuff. When I was pregnant, I couldn't sleep at all. But because it would swell up so bad. So it's not swelling or anything at this point, but it does bother me. So, but I really hope that it kind of, I'm aware of it, so I'm trying to be super cautious. So I hope that things kind of go back to normal here pretty soon, because I really, you know, need to start like delegating out some jobs. And then I started thinking about hay season. We've got maybe a month worth of hay left in the barn, and then we'll have to go and get a load, and we can only get 220 bales or so at a time, and that lasts me about 3 weeks. So, but I usually have help for hay, so I'm really, oopsie. Didn't mean to do that. So I'm really hoping that things get back to normal, because I am not looking forward to doing hay by myself. Jason's really allergic to hay, and he does it, but he's miserable afterwards. So
allergic to hay?
and we go through almost 4,000 bales a year, so that's not something that is enjoyable to do without help. And I have a great video to share with you guys eventually whenever I get around to editing it, but of how we actually do our hay. I had a really slick system last year, but I need for quarantine to be not a thing anymore for that to happen. So I'll be sure to share that with you guys when I get around to it. But man, it's never-ending jobs on a farm, I tell you. Okay, let's trim Daisy. Wow, good job with the brushing. You're not done yet, is that what you said? See, I think Daisy's got, you know, Tova personality, she says. I think Tova and Daisy are perfect together. They're a good match. They're both, they both got enough sass. They can handle each other pretty well. Oh, gosh, and I've got my rain jacket on. It's all rainy and gross here.
I don't. I just got my winter jacket.
Whoops, and apparently I had a little bit of hay in my bottom of my pants.
I think I'm done.
Think you're done?
Yep.
Okay.
Want me to hold her still or hold her down or something?
Hold her down? What are you going to do, hog tie her? No, don't move that though. I got it perfect where I want it.
I'm
okay?
just going to move it to where her feet are.
Oh, right. Leave it there. Okay, I think we're good.
I think you should do her front feet first.
You think I should do her front feet first?
Or maybe you shouldn't even do her back feet at all.
Okay. How about you hand me my tools?
Sure. Mrs. Hand me the tools.
No, Casey, you're not allowed to bite me.
What tools do you need, Miss Hand me the tools?
Well, I really should turn her around too so people can see something besides the back of my head.
Here, what if I move this a little
Here,
closer?
no. You leave that there because that's the only place it really works. Tova, you stand here, okay? Don't move that. Don't move that. Leave it there. Leave it there. You go over there and just make it so she can't.
Kitty. Yeah, what?
So she can't go too far. Okay? Here. You stand right here.
I don't feel safe.
No,
way.
you just stand.
No way.
Tova.
No way.
Tova Lynn, stand right here. Stand right here so
How are
she
you
doesn't.
doing that? No way.
Stand right here. It's not going to hurt anything. She's not going to. That's ridiculous. You just brushed her. There. Don't let her push you around.
How hard is it to trim her feet?
It's not. All right. Come here, Minnie.
Come here, Minnie.
Good enough. Sorry, guys. The best I can do right now. Okay. These little teeny tiny feet. I can't really use my hoof stand with these little ones. Not very easily, anyway.
Can I pick them?
I want to get through a couple of them. I'll let you work on one of them, but one or two of the horses. Muffin's really great to trim. I brought her in.
You did? Thanks. Like how the horse will just pull you around. That's what you call chaos.
She has really nice feet, though. Hey, Joel, will you hand me my nippers, please? Hey, stop that.
Nippers, what's the nipper?
Here, and you need to turn it this way because now that you moved it, nobody can see anything. That's good. Leave it. Okay, my nippers, please.
Your nippers?
Nippers.
Can I try it?
No,
Can I try it on baby?
later.
I mean, Rosie.
Later.
I suppose next we're gonna need a pocket knife.
No. Tova. Wait, where's the duck? Oh, there's the duck.
I'm Darth Vader. Meow. Slash the camera. Mommy, look it. This is mine.
Just don't drop.
Mom, you know what I'm gonna try? You wait up. Once you caught the chicken, I couldn't catch her. I got her. She soaked these you know you're clipping off part of the hoof right now.
Can I have my rasp?
That's what she rasps that.
Yep.
You cut your head off. You're gonna need your pocket knife or something.
You just said that. That's a hoof knife, not a pocket knife.
So you mean I could tear my eye out?
No, yeah, don't do that.
What's next you're gonna need a ruler.
Nope. I'm not gonna measure her feet.
Measure her feet.
I'm not really too concerned about Minnie's feet.
Oh, she's a horse.
Will you hand me that hoof jack? That stand?
Where we found love, where we are. Let me find something that looks like a microphone. That looks like a mic. Wait, this looks better.
No, I do both fronts first, and then I move on to the backs.
No, I mean I need to do the back now.
No, I have to do the other front foot.
Didn't you do both fronts?
Nope. Only got to one so far.
Can I try the other front foot?
Nope.
Why?
Because I told you not to hurt.
Can I have it for a minute, Cody? No. I literally just
So I've decided the next time we order chickens, we're gonna get, what are they called? Silver Phoenix. That's what Louise is. She is just the nicest chicken ever. And a friend of mine, Nikki, she's got one of the exact same birds, and oh my gosh, they're just the nicest.
Its name is Pippa. Pippa? Isn't it Pippa?
Yep, Pippa. Hey, buddy, you want to show Louise to the camera?
Here. This is Louise again. Bodie, I have an idea. I have an idea. Bodie, I have an idea. Bodie, that's not nice.
Yep, make sure to be respectful to her.
Bodie, I have an idea. Bodie, can I try something? Can I have her for a minute?
Okay, turn it so I can see. Lift up that edge, please.
It's nice, Mommy.
No, you gotta lift it. It's all crooked now. See how it's on the concrete? You can drop the concrete. You gotta bring it back in the barn. There you go.
So here we got the horse of the sass. Queen of sass. Louise. And we don't need to see the chicken. Yes, we do. No, we don't. Just leave it alone. Bonked. Bodie, what are we bonking? Oh, there we go. Can I have her for a minute? I just got her. I'll give her right back to you. What are you going to do with her? I'm just going to do something at the camera real quick. Okay, and then can I have her back? Oh, she's so warm.
Gentle with her.
Bodie, get out of the screen. Get out of the screen. Bodie, get out of the screen. I'm not in.
Guys, I'm gonna abolish you from the barn.
Ronnie, look. Remember that thing? She might be small, but she's a monster predator to bugs.
Yeah, she is. She's a good predator.
She's a very good predator. To other little tiny creatures, like ants. And I had 3 teeth lost. Mine
Okay.
now.
Out.
Hey, you said only.
In front of a bunch of people, you know that, right? I'm going to show this at your high school graduation.
Nice.
Yep, when you guys graduate from high school, I'm going to show this video of you guys fighting.
I don't care. I'm going to be famous. Oh, yes, you are. That looks like some good stuff to put down on with.
Kind of like Parmesan cheese, isn't it? Here. Good girl. Oh my goodness. She's so sassy. Okay, the back feet are the fun ones on her. Now give her
I
space.
just gave you a little pet.
Tova, I really don't want to hear it. You guys need to just go fight elsewhere.
for very good reasons.
Look at that. Will you pull that big ball of hair out of there, please?
And I mean for very good reasons.
Alright, I'm going to stand for this one. Because if you saw the video of me working with her a little bit.
No, it's a little tiny itty bitty little bit. Let's.
Yep,
I'm
that's
gonna
perfect.
make my chicken parlor again. What? I'm gonna make my chicken stew and stuff again.
That's fine.
With a green bucket. Find that. Mommy,
What?
where's that bucket that was sitting right here?
I don't know, honey.
This
Probably over by the water.
No, it's not that one. It's not that.
Now, I don't trust Daisy enough to let go and swap hands necessarily, so this just has to. She has the most beautiful little feet, though.
Oh, this might be it. That's it.
I really don't think that I even need to nip that part. I just nip the toe.
What is your stand for? My stand? Yeah. You know what? You can stand that you use for. I'm gonna make for something. Is it a good idea to do? Maybe. Looks like.
They may be little, but it still hurts when you get kicked.
Whoa! Oh, nuts. Nut prickles. Nut prickles. Come on, nut prickles. Oh, nut prickles. What does that even mean? Oh, horse apples. That means horse poop, right? What's that mean? If I go to the camping.
Oh my goodness, just relax.
Chickens, I have a nice big treat. See, I mixed a whole bunch of grain, a whole bunch of stuff that they can eat, and I made a souffle. Tova, Tova, I think there you go. You'll be happy. I think you should let it out there for
Bodie, you want to tell the story about when Daisy bit you?
on the neck. Sure. Well, that was babysitting us.
Yep, Beck was babysitting.
I was in the house.
What? No, you weren't.
I was in the house.
What?
So one day I asked Becca, if I could, and we went out there, and I wanted to pet every horse in the that we have in the pasture.
Yeah, you wanted to
And-
go see Rosie.
And then I petted Daisy, and then she was in a crabby mood, and she went up. Always in a crabby mood. And she bit me in the neck. It was huge.
Bodie was like 3. Remember how when I was roping her legs the other day, this is the one that was bad. I'm going to try to use it again. Give it a little bit more support. And I can kind of.
And I'm gonna work on my special one.
job's gonna be. Now don't bite me, little stinker. Working with this little stinker's face. No, I'm talking to back through the camera. So
She's watching?
I'm sure she's probably watching. She usually does, and she's my moderator. So if anybody says anything mean, they delete her, or she deletes them.
Mackie's up to make a stew for Louise. Something for Louise.
Oh yeah?
Mommy, no one's calling about dinner and Louise.
What?
That they're both the three things that
What's that?
they're both so small, they're both so cute, and they both love being scratched right here.
Yeah. Oh, little stinker.
Never let a horse do that to you.
Well, honey, I'm not letting her go.
No, I'm talking to the people.
Oh.
Anyone that knows that problem, don't let them pull away. You have, if they take it out of your hand, pick it right back up, and you need to work on it.
Yeah.
Because that horse will get a habit, and then everything, then if you put kids on that horse, they'll do it to them. You need to say you're the boss. for that
Well,
horse.
you just need to not let them get away with stuff.
Yeah. You need to say, I'm the boss, you're not.
No.
You need to kind of
We
say,
have a partnership.
yeah, that's kind of what I mean. You need to teach them
Oh.
a lesson.
Little stinker. I need a mini stop. Before you go, you know. Oh, look here. Gonna get me one of these days.
Thank you.
Yep.
In the stomach. Or maybe like Lucky did to Courtney. That's like the only place they can move it. For some reason, Miss Kitty is a very good hind kitten.
She was.
One night Daddy said that chicken is gonna blow up because we kept feeding her.
Yeah.
Why did?
Stop.
Mommy, look, I mashed those green things for Louise.
Yeah.
Do you think that's good for her?
I do.
Do you think that's a good enough size?
I don't trust the front end or the hind end.
Slide on her, even her hind end. You know what you do?
I'm about to get my rasp over her butt if she doesn't stop this. And this is nonsense. I gave her a tap on the belly to let her know knock it off.
Mommy, put eyes down.
What? Oh yeah, make sure that goes in the garbage, honey, so it doesn't end up.
Mommy, I'm gonna give the rest of this to the other chickens. Louise only needs a little bit, but the rest of the chickens need a lot. Hey, chickens! There's some stuff
There.
for your little
All done.
taste buds.
Those little ones are the ones that hurt my back the worst because you gotta bend over so far, and well, in her, it's like a little WrestleMania. Oh, brat.
For the big chickens, I get one whole scoop of each thing with this. Because they need a little more than
Daisy is gonna go in her stall, or I'm actually gonna go tie her down there so she can just stand there. But none of this is for you to play with. Don't touch any of this, okay? All right, come here. Stay first.
And then it's my turn.
Who should I do that? Muffin is fabulous. Should I do Muffin?
Yeah, for me. I get to do that. How about, Bodie, how about if you be my server for the big chicken? Go dump this outside. And then bring that bucket to me. I know what to do.
Everybody okay? You guys all see me all right? Or see what's going on? Are we buffering or anything? Is it good? Oh my goodness, you were rubbing on your hay. You're a mess. There, that's good right there, babe. Oh, darn. Oh.
Do you think the big chickens will love this, Mommy? Hey, don't I get to do those feet?
Yeah, you'll get to do some, not all.
I want to do the front feet.
That's a lot of.
Back. I'll go get ready. Do the front feet. I get to do the front feet.
How do you want to pick them? Is that the thing?
I want to pick them and I want to teach you how to do it.
Here.
I want you to teach me how to do it.
You can pick one too.
And I want to learn how to do it.
It'll be great when they're older and they actually can do all this and take some of the pressure off of me. That'd be great. Wish I could see what you guys are saying. I need somebody out here all the time to read comments to me.
Then maybe I could.
Yeah?
Maybe someday.
So, here. That part's sensitive. So let me show you how to do it so it's not, because she's moving her foot
Why do you
around.
have two of these? Mommy? Mommy?
So you're gentler about it, okay? You don't want to stab your pick in this area. Her feet actually look pretty darn good. Don't have too
Mom
much.
has the best feet ever.
She is.
Mommy,
What?
why do you have two of these?
I don't know. A gal can never have too many picks. Nothing. You're gonna stand here. Okay. All right.
Hey, what do you need? I can do it.
I need you to just chill out for a minute because I got to use the knife, and that's job for me, not for you to do. Okay?
I know, can I do all the others?
I'll teach you how to do some of the others. There's another pair of nippers in there, honey. Want to grab those out? You can use those.
Nippers?
Yep.
Nippers. There's two. Which one do I use? Two.
Nope. One's a shoe puller and one's nippers. So I want you to try to decide which one's which.
This one's the nippers.
Good job.
I just looked at the other one that you had. And I looked how the circle was compared to the other.
No, but I'm not really sure why you're deciding that you need to move around.
And Mommy, I also get to wear the gloves when I do it.
Yes, you do. Why don't you run up to the barn, honey, and get your other gloves that are up there, those purple ones?
No.
Those would be great because then you'll actually be able to grab onto it. You're not able to grab onto it with my gloves on.
Mommy,
What?
I don't want to run up there for a minute. I want to stay down here.
These ones are going to be too big for you.
chicken booty?
No.
I bet
Right. Poop just flung in my eye. Ugh.
Because then I could watch Louise. Boy, watch Louise. That cat here.
We don't want the cat to take off
What
the
is going potty?
That would be tragic. What?
What is going potty?
Jeez.
Boy, watch the chicken because there's cats in here. Oh, come on. The cat's dirt. I just want my face.
Go bed. Don't talk about that. That's gross. So if you want to do this, you gotta hurry up though, okay? Because I'm gonna be moving on to the next part.
I have to watch the chicken.
Chicken will be fine.
Are you sure? Because
Positive, the
a
chicken
cat.
will be fine. Chicken will be fine. I'm watching said chicken.
Hey, if you hear her barking, like, quack, quack, tell me. Mommy, the chickens are going to scarf this down with one.
Okay, I'm ready to use a nipper, so you need to hustle.
Oh, don't do it without me. Mommy, I want the chicken.
Okay, I'm gonna clean up since she's gonna go get her gloves. I'm gonna clean up the other front foot. Muffin, honey, what is your deal? Why are you pulling on me? It's not like you. She says, because nobody's picked up my feet in a month. Okay, I don't recommend doing this at home.
Oh, good. You didn't start yet.
I'll do that part on this foot. I'll switch to the other side.
I would already book it there. Like Superman did. That's my way for booking it. Like running real fast. Because I didn't want to miss the part that I wanted to do very badly. Mommy, these ones are new. They're just exactly like my other ones, but they have horse heads on them.
Okay.
Do you have two pairs of these?
Somebody gave them to me. I don't know.
I like how she stands still very nice. Is that the second foot down?
We'll go back on the other side. I just wanted to do this part while I was waiting.
Sometimes you take off their frog.
Yeah, if there's a frog that's kind of coming off, I just help it the rest of the way out.
Doesn't hurt.
No. That's the way I'm doing it here. Oh, no.
Because the hooves, you on horses, you can barely even like feel anything.
Yeah, it's kind of like our thumbnails.
She's
or our
half
fingernails.
inside the stall, and she's literally like,
Oh, she's such a stinker.
she's not waiting.
Okay, let's go back on the other side. Okay, do not do this at home.
All
right. Pull or go underneath your horse's face. Okay,
I do
you
it
ready?
every day.
Don't do it. It's not safe. Do as I say, not as I do. in that situation. Okay, grab your nippers.
Where'd my nipper go? What did I put that? Oh, there it is. Nippy, nippy.
Come on over.
Nippy, nippy.
I wish I could put you guys like here, but I'm afraid that the camera's not going to work if I put you there. Seems to be a bad spot. And the horses all want to put their butt that way. Okay. So, yep, you're going to take off. We'll start here. Well, we'll start where it's going to be a little easier for you. Here. Do it right there. have to get these started. Put those ones back. Oh, muffin, stop. Here, give me mine. Hold on. Get it in position. Ready?
Oh, you're not.
Muffin's got some hard feet. Somebody asked about colors of feet. I feel like black hooves are a little harder than white hooves personally, but you're gonna brush your nose instead? Okay.
Yeah, I'll do a different horses like Lucky's or something.
Oh, okay.
Because they don't have black feet, right?
She's got two like hind feet. Muffin? No.
Black feet, black hind feet. Black feet.
See, this is where it gets tricky too because I'm hitting her belly as well. No. Yeah.
She's not shedding as much as Daisy.
Which surprises me because usually she's really rough. She actually looks really good this year. Her medication has worked very well for her.
She's fine. Where did chicken go?
Bodie, don't you have her? Yeah, it's in his shirt.
What are you making? That's my cookie bowl. What did you do? I'm making some bacon and bread. The big chickens? No, I make. Not you. They have enough out here.
I try to do as much as I can with my nippers because then it's a lot less effort. You know, the rasp takes a little bit more effort to do, so I try to get as much done as I can with my nips.
There. That'll be enough.
Beautiful. Muffin's always really easy. She's got great feet.
Mommy, I bet you Louise would love it inside our house because it's warm in there.
Yeah, she probably would.
I bet she would be a nice house pet.
And her daddy wants a desk chicken. Okay, Muffin.
I think, Mommy, do you know for some reason animals like music?
Yeah, I think animals like music.
They love music. Every single time I use my ukulele next to an animal, they fall asleep.
Yeah,
When I use my ukulele, they fall asleep.
that's good.
Cinder fell asleep when I had her during my ukulele lesson. She fell
Muffin,
asleep.
what's your deal, sweetheart?
And she was dreaming during my ukulele lesson. Probably dreaming about a heart.
Yeah?
Heart? Heart. A heart? I know what a harp is. I'll say it'll be like
I always do the front feet first and compare them to each other, and then I do the hind feet. And the way I look at it, like, if I needed to stop for some reason, I'd rather they have both front feet done than to have, you know, one front, one hind. So I always like to do the front feet first. I want them to set down nice and gentle. I don't want them to pull it out of my hand. Okay, I'm going to scooch her over. Maybe you'll be able to see better. That thing over there, hey? Here. See a little over here? Got my wheels all clogged with hair now. kids. Kids and ponies. My gosh.
Mommy,
What?
I'm gonna split this in half. So I'm gonna like use a little bit for Louise. I'll take a little bit and I'll put a little bit in the feeders and the coop.
Okay. Can you turn that a little bit so it's pointing down and maybe that way a smidgen?
Mommy, when can I like
Point
do
down a little bit.
like an easier
There,
foot?
that's good. Well, honey, unfortunately, they're really not any easier ones.
No, I mean like do like the white feet.
Gotcha.
I added a secret ingredient on this one.
Yep.
You want me to go feed the big chickens?
Tova, you're asking me a question and Buddy's asking me a question at the same time.
Because they like ran out of food. The big chickens have ran out of
Yeah,
food.
Buddy.
Is the fence on?
Yep. Doesn't mean it's working.
The big chickens have ran out of food, so I'm gonna give them some muffins.
That's fine, Tova. Thank you. Muffin? My gosh. She's like, I hear that food bag. I want something.
Maybe Buddy can help me this time.
That'd be nice. What a messy job on that one. Muffin? When they go back on me like that, I'll give them a little poke in the belly because they need to just stand here. They can handle being on 3 legs, and that becomes a habit where they learn to pull away from people. So I don't want this pony thinking that she can lean back like that, because if I had her foot between my legs and try to hold it that way, and she went down like that, she could pinch my leg and I could get stuck underneath her. So it's really not safe for her to do that. So I try to correct that right away. Whoops. What? No, I'm busy. What? There's an eggshell? Weird. Are you sure we're right there? Okay. that. My wheels are totally clogged with hair now. You guys bored yet? Anybody bored? Muffin has really great feet. Well, Miss Kitty had the nicest. I'd say all my ponies really seem to have good feet for some reason. All mine do anyway. Now, if she moves around too much with this hind foot, I'm definitely going to get up, because I don't want her, you know, farting around here when my head is this low. Now, she pulls away from me again. She's getting in trouble. She will get a little sick. You know, it's different when it's one of the young ones that don't understand. I have a lot more patience for that, but when it's a 20-year-old horse who's had her hooves trimmed every 8 weeks her entire life, they know better. And you know, Daisy's just a poop. But Muffin is always amazing with her feet. So the fact that she's squirming around, that's pretty strange. I can't imagine doing this job for a living. I've got so much respect for farriers because this really is a job that, you know, it's so dangerous. There's just a lot of stuff that could go wrong very, very easily. And you're putting your life at risk. So, you know, when you have the farrier come out to work on your horse, make sure your horse is respectful and is good with their feet, because, you know, you're putting someone else's life in danger to trim your horse's feet. Bud, where's your bucket? Right there, sweetheart. Thank you. Now, Bodie, don't walk right behind her, honey.
I'm not gonna.
you. So I like being able to stand on that, or I like being able to sit on that stool. But if they're not going to be good, I can't do that. All right, I'm getting warm now. Oh, I got to show you guys, this is one of my favorite shirts. It's my Student of the Horse. Got this from my Teespring. So this shirt is available. If you go down in the video description, you'll find a link to my merch. I really like how this turned out, and this long sleeve shirt is my most favorite. That's good. It's like I just want a little bit, not a lot. They gotta move around on me. Yeah, I just brought that out here, honey, because I broke it.
Was it inside?
Yep, it was in the house. I broke it, I think, putting it in the drawer or taking it out of the dish. I don't know. It broke somehow.
Looks like a spatula.
Huh?
Looks like a spatula. It kind of like has the shape of a spatula
Yeah?
at the end. Is it a spoon though?
Yep, it's a slotted spoon, honey.
A spoon that looks like a spatula?
Sure. Thing I like about this knife too is it's got a little pick on the end. I was talking to the people on YouTube, honey. When I was at Mackinac Island this summer, I got to tour their blacksmith shop. That was super cool. They had a really neat setup. I actually took video from that. That's another one I never edited. You guys, I have like 100 videos that I never edited. Oh. Muffin, you are capable. Here, sweetheart. Yay! I love when I can do that. The nice thing about only trimming my own horse is the only person I can get crabby with is myself, because you know what, if my horse isn't going to behave, it's fault on my own. So if one of them kicks me, I'm like, well, I guess I should have fixed that. Or not let that get as bad as it did, or whatever. Oh, Tova. watching. Oh my gosh. Wow. 177 people watching right now.
Mommy, you might have
Watching
more
me
views than
sweat.
Danny.
What?
You might have more views than Danny.
No. No, I don't think I'll ever have more views than Danny. She's got a lot. Okay.
Keep it doing it longer than
Yeah, Muffin knows that she's on camera, so she's making it more difficult. I think it's probably because she's had her feet picked up once, and that was on Friday in the last month. I have not picked up her feet at all. So she desperately needs to be, something needs to be done. So, yeah, I love when I can do this. This is about as much as I take off, or that I want to take off at a time. So this one is perfect to me. Hi, Ann. Thanks for joining. This one is perfect, and I always take off a little more at the toe. You can see the toe is a little wider, but I try to take off more on the toe just so they get a little bit better breakover. But this is just about perfect, I think. So I remember the very first time, guys, hey, don't spill it all over the floor.
I'm helping him with his.
They're feeding the chickens. Okay, good. Thank you. The chickens will come in and clean up the floor, but boy. But I remember the very first time I was able to do a whole round like this, I was so excited because I tried so hard to get to that point where I could do that. It was very, very exciting for me. So, but guys, anybody can do this. Anybody can do this. And I'm being putsy and just really taking my time. And if you're interested in learning how to do something, you can, all it takes is just getting in there and practicing, okay? So I've got a lot of horses to practice on. So for me, I definitely don't have a lack of horses to practice on. And then being able to have people that you can ask questions and having resources online and be careful who you watch and what you watch, because just like with training horses, there is something, everybody's got their own way of doing it. So I recommend, Shul, oh, I'm so glad. That's awesome. I recommend just finding somebody that teaches in a manner that you understand and that, that trims a way that is a goal for you to trim your horses. So, because like there's some farriers that really, I feel, just cut into the horse's sole. I don't really take any sole off unless it's already starting to come off. I do take the horse's bars down, but I am really, really careful how much I take off. I'm careful how much I take off because I don't want the horse to get sore. And typically they get sore if you take off too much sole. So isn't Clover great? She is just the best. So, and I try to, my way of looking at it, I try to keep my horse's toe a little shorter because it gives them a better breakover. They trip a lot less. And I take the heel back to, I look at each foot and let it tell me where it needs to be and go from there. So there's really nothing too technical about how I do it. And there's no cookie cutter way of doing it, I don't think. But sometimes it becomes very like a cookie cutter way of doing it, and based on angles and all that. And I think that you just got to look at the hoof and determine what needs to come off that way. So yeah, starting out with just having a rasp and getting comfortable with using a rasp. Oh my gosh, that's a job in itself, just using a rasp. And if you just start using a rasp, I mean, you're not going to take off too much really using a rasp for the most part, but just, if you rasp them once a week, you're not going to really do much harm, I don't believe. So, but just get handy with how to use it. Well, what do you think? Should I trim one more horse? Thank you, Inspired Clips. That's very nice of you. So, I'm gonna work on one more horse, I think. If you guys don't mind watching, I just gotta decide who do I want, Bear or I think Lucky. Lucky looked like he needed to be trimmed more than Bear. And oh, let me tell you about the app that I use too. If you've got multiple horses, or I guess if you only had one or two even, it'd be fine, but I use an app called Equisketch, and it works really good for me for, like, there's some things that I would, see you later, Rex, thanks for joining. I think that there's some options that could be better on it, but EquiSketch is pretty good for reminders and such. So I'm able to keep track of when my horses were trimmed, what vaccines they've had, all that kind of stuff. There's some things in there, like I said, that could be easier though, like deworming. I'd really like to change the way that the dewormer settings are on there. But anyway, it's a really good app for just keeping track of stuff anyway. Or if you have an app that you use that you really like, leave me a comment below. I'd really like to hear your thoughts on it. Now, if you leave a comment in the chat, I don't always see those and I can't respond to them, but if you wait until the video's done processing, so like it takes a few hours at least. Hi Violet, glad you're here. Leave me a comment in the video comment section and I will, I always read those. I try my best to read those and answer any questions that are on there. So, all right, Lucky it is. I will trim Lucky next. He's the one that's most due. I believe anyway, looking at his feet. Oh. Muffin's gonna go back in her stall. Bear took off outside to, Bear doesn't like being in a stall, so I leave his door open a lot of times, and he took off outside, so that's just fine. Oh, I can't believe I rolled through all that hair. My wheels don't even work now. Now I'm going to use this for Lucky, so I got to make sure that I pull the hair out of here. I got to make Tova do this. Didn't even think about that before I rolled through there. So if you do trim your own horses, something that would be really cool to share is, you know, where did you learn from? What kind of who you learned from, and what kind of resources are there? So like, you know, if there's a good YouTube channel that teaches, or a book or videos that you'd recommend, if you would leave a comment, that'd be really awesome, because this is a great place for people to learn and to find different resources. So don't be shy. I appreciate reading comments. You know, we're all, I think we kind of all have the sort of same goals with our horses. We're just, some of us are a little further along in our journey than others, but. Okay, I think that's as good as I'm going to get. I'm going to keep up. It doesn't roll nearly as good. Darn it. You're back. Chicken, huh? Don't show her to the kitty. We don't want the kitty thinking that she's a snack. Here, Mr. Lucky. Lucky, the one-eyed pony. I feel like I shouldn't even have to say that. Okay. Okay, let's see if I can get Lucky to bring his butt over here. Right there, buddy. No, not that far. There. Trying to make it so you guys can see what I'm doing. Not very successful here. Oh. Lucky's definitely due. Let's see, I'm gonna try to move it a little bit more. You guys tell me if it ends up buffering, okay? Oh, bummer. Well, there goes my stool. Boy, it was a rough day for my stool. I was just talking about how I've had this thing for like 10 years. Lucky couldn't see it on that side. He didn't have an eye there. He didn't mean it. There. Can you guys see and hear okay? Okay, bud. I really didn't mean to do that. That's another thing that I guess I'm adding to my birthday list. I need a new stool. Nice clean feet. Oh, they're so nice. Lucky's soles are really soft right now. So that's pretty normal in the springtime. And they kind of slough off their soles themselves. So people always panic. They're like, why is my horse's hoof white? Or it's like scraping off white. That's when I love to trim them because it's so easy. So much easier. Still got 170 some people here. Wow. That's really cool. I'm just waiting for my stand to break and me to fall on my butt. He has really lovely feet. But like I said, all my ponies just have really great feet. And they clearly all need a lesson on how to keep their foot on the stand tonight. My gosh. Stinkers. But like I said, they haven't done a darn thing. This is the first time ever that my horses have gone this long without work. Besides what I've been doing, and I haven't been doing a darn thing with the ponies. That's the way I look at it, that's Tova's job at this point. She needs to do stuff with them. Tova and Bodhi. Tova's got a bit more experience than Bodhi does, so. My knife is so dull, I might as well have a butter knife out here. Here, I like to just open everything up so air can get in there better. Anytime that there's a flap or something where, you know, bacteria can kind of hide in there, that's when you're going to end up with problems. So I like to make sure that I get all that stuff opened up. His sole is really coming off. So now what's funny is in another like 2 weeks, his feet are going to be super long looking. And it's going to be because he's lost a bunch of sole between now and then. So it kind of, looks are kind of deceiving, you know, right now. So there's a bunch of fake stuff here, dead stuff. The kids at horse camp, and because I usually trim horses one of the days of camp just so the kids can see what that's like, and they like to take those rounds and go and put them in the sun and see how long it takes for them to dry out. But it's cool because they curl up when the moisture.
How many horses have you done so far?
3.
This is your one after Muffin?
Yep, and he's the last one for the night. I'm not going to trim Bear tonight.
Okay.
Where are you going with that?
I thought since we don't use it as a duck nest, I'm gonna make.
You're going to clutter up my barn with it?
No, we're gonna make it for Louise.
Oh.
I'm just gonna be fixed up.
Sure.
So we gotta like get all the poop out of the end.
Okay,
I
gross.
cleaned up most of the poop already.
Well, don't use any of my stuff to clean.
Mommy, do you have any towels?
Towels.
Towels that I could use so I can dip in water and I can
Oh,
kind of
you
polish.
stinker.
Huh?
I'm talking to him.
What do you have any towels that I can like dip in water and I can kind of polish it?
Tova, I think the best thing you could do is leave it outside in the rain.
That's not gonna do anything.
And it's got chicken poop on it, so we don't want to dip it in our buckets.
No, we're not gonna dip it in a bucket. I'm gonna use a bucket that you never use for water.
Can I have that, please? Here, figure out how to stand. So that, here, get your legs over.
I'll fill this with water. And then I'll dip a towel in it, and then I'll soak
You're
it.
not filling that with water. I use that. No. force its eat out and drink out. Ouch. Can I have your foot, please? I'm almost done.
Ooh. River time.
You can have those and play with them. Go put them in the river, bud.
I've never.
Oh, okay.
That's why I was like, river time. Would they float?
I don't know. You'll have to go find out. We got like a river that runs behind the barn. Bodie likes to put stuff down it. Oh, look at that. All my stuff's falling out. Tova, the stool broke.
Well,
Yeah.
where?
The whole bottom broke out of it. I know, right? I'm super bummed. I know. I'm bummed out too.
Maybe because you don't use it gently.
Excuse me. You're the one that's got it all bent. So there. Excuse me.
I'm gonna go find a bucket and a chicken.
Okay. Oh, stinker.
I know where. Here's your buckets back that we used to carry the chicken feed in.
Thank you.
And then the bucket.
What?
That's the bucket.
Okay. Yeah, that needs to be filled up.
We'll fill it up and then we'll use it. Do you have any towels that we can use?
What?
Do you have any towels that we can use? Or
There's a towel over there, but I don't want you cleaning any chicken poop. Bodie, back up. Do not stand behind a
any
horse.
chicken poop?
Yeah, I don't want you to use any of these towels on anything with chicken poop.
Mommy,
What?
when are we going inside?
Well, I gotta feed yet, so you can go in.
Right now? Oh, Bodie, can you go let Louise out?
Where is she?
We put a board across the nesting box so she would stay in.
Yeah, don't do that.
Bodie, can you please go let her out?
Oh.
Mm-hmm. Will I fill this up? What?
Yeah, it broke.
What was it? The wheelie chair. Oh, are you gonna throw the wheelie chair away?
No, it's still functional. There's another one. Did it float, buddy?
It went on the river.
Cool. Tova, I need that black bucket filled with water. You want to fill that? That's fine.
It already is.
It's filled all the way?
Yeah.
Oh, okay, cool. Lucky. Oh.
Mommy, you have towels in the arena, right?
I don't want you using any of the towels to clean up chicken poop.
I only need a tiny itty bitty one.
Not. No.
Please?
No.
What can you use then?
Go find that rag that you used to clean the bike. Is it over in the hay barn?
Huh?
Is it over in the hay barn, that rag?
No. I don't even know where we put it. Last time I saw it was buried in snow.
Well, there you go.
But I'll go look and see if I can find any more little pieces of fabric.
Yeah, that sounds like a good plan.
There's something in the garage that we can use.
You know? Good plan, babe. Whatever keeps them busy. Ew. Stinker. talking on there about something. And Beck is a good example of good work ethic. So I've had so many people ask me about, you know, being a camp counselor or helping with lessons or anything like that. But I tell you, a lot of kids nowadays, they don't have crap for work ethic. They don't know how to work hard. Beck knows how to work. That's how she got to be the one that does it.
I just found this in the office, in the workshop.
In the office?
I mean, where Grandpa works all
We have an office?
Where Grandpa works all the time, I just borrowed it. He probably
okay.
not care.
Okay. Yeah, I don't think he'll mind, honey. Yeah, I don't think he'll mind.
He's not gonna care.
He's not going to care.
Can I?
Nope. Nope, not tonight. Because these horses are kind of squirmy with me tonight.
I just want to pick.
No, not. There's really nothing to pick on this
Oh,
one.
is that a frog picker?
This isn't a frog picker. It's a frog knife. It's a hoof knife.
What is it helping? So it picks the frog.
Yep, see? It just cut it right off. There's the frog right there. I bet you that'll float. Why don't you go check and see if that floats?
Mommy, can you please help me? Probably. Mommy, can you please help me? Whoa! I get why it's called the frog.
Why? Does it bounce?
It's stinky.
Oh, it's stinky? Are frogs stinky?
Well, there's this one that has that for protect.
They have a stink?
Yeah.
Oh.
Well, you do this
Bodie knows anything and everything about any kind of critter. He loves.
Bodie, this cloth will be sitting on top of the rain bin. It's for you to use to help me wash the socks. Well, maybe it's a turtle.
Yeah, turtles are stinky.
Turtles can be really stinky.
Lucky. I got a good thing going here. Don't mess with it.
Mommy, this is gonna look so beautiful when I'm done washing it.
Oh, I'm sure it will be beautiful, Tova.
It might take a couple days to wash it,
Oh.
but it'll be worth
Like I said, if you leave it in the rain, that'll really help. It's going to rain for a couple more days here, I think.
I know, I'm gonna leave it out in the rain if I don't finish it. Take a break from like
Woohoo!
doing hay.
Got it. It just rolled away.
As soon as you stop doing hay for a minute for rain,
Yeah.
I'll work at this a little.
Okay.
And when we hit the house, I'll set it out.
Okay. Are you going to help me with hay?
Sure. You want me to?
Of course I do.
For some reason, I don't like going on hay. For some reason, in the summer, hay is my least favorite part of hay, and in the winter, it's my favorite.
Because in the summer, you don't usually have a lot of clothes on. Like, it sticks to
and
you.
it doesn't actually poke you and get all over you when you do
Ugh.
it. Yeah, I hate it when it does that in the summer. Hate
This
it.
is like upside down sweating and in a constant squat position.
Mommy, you know what
Ah.
I'm gonna do?
I'm going to be so sore tomorrow. What?
When it's wet one day, I'll like scrape off the poop because it's easier to scrape it off when it's wet.
Okay, whatever.
Because it sticks to it when it's.
All right, Mr. Lucky. Last spot. Ooh.
He'll just stand there and have it.
He's like, whatever.
Buddy, wrap your cloth and start washing. Whoa. What? That is good.
You know, if you take it down to the river, you can rinse it.
No, that's good.
Okay.
You're good. Me, you're good. I think this is the best kind of ball. Because there's no one.
No. That's all I can handle for the night. Ugh. Okay. My lower back is tight. What? What? You can go in. I don't care. Go ahead. You guys say goodbye. Here.
Buddy, please.
Goodbye.
Buddy, please let
Tova,
Louise
horse butt.
out before before you go, though?
Yep, go take care of the chicken.
Yeah, let her out of that chamber. Bodie, I got your buckets back. How many times?
Bodie gets stage fright. So, yeah, you can go to the house. That's fine.
Bodie, please let
Okay.
the kids out.
So, any questions that I can answer real quick before I sign out for the evening? Oh, I have something to share with you. I figured out channel memberships today. That is coming. You're welcome. Thanks for commenting. Andalusia. Sorry. I'm terrible with names. So I worked on channel memberships today, and I got it submitted. So now I'm just waiting for YouTube to approve whether I can offer memberships or not, and that's really exciting for me. So I opted to go with just one tier to start with. There used to be there were 3 options that they recommended, but I wanted to just keep it simple and do one thing. So channel memberships will be a really huge way for anybody who wants to kind of support the channel. And horses are a huge, there's a lot that goes on with it, you know, between, hey guys, hi, could you be quiet please? Thanks.
And can Tova be quiet?
Maybe.
Because she's a bonehead.
That's not nice. That's not nice at all.
He forgot her.
Shush. So anyway, channel memberships really help bring money into it helps. Bodie just went up to his butt in the snowbank, and now his boot's going to be buried, and I'm going to have to go over there and rescue him. Oh, he got out. Sorry. All these live videos, I tell you guys, I'm so distracted, it's not even funny. But anyway, channel memberships really help support the content creator. And it'll allow me to offer a lot more variety. And a lot of people ask me for training videos and such, but honestly, they just don't perform well on YouTube. So the training videos, I think, are for kind of a select group of people who are looking to further their education, where a lot of people on YouTube just want to see it for entertainment purposes, not necessarily for educational purposes. So, but it takes me a lot of time to make videos, especially the ones that I have to edit. Like these live streams have been pretty easy because all I have to do is just, you see it, you know, there's no editing involved, just a few things I need to do afterwards, but that's pretty much it. So the edited videos take me a lot of time, and so the memberships will be awesome for that because I'll be able to do some how-to videos and more training type stuff that I know a lot of you really want to see, and I appreciate that. So, so those will be coming hopefully soon. I don't know how long it takes for YouTube to review that kind of stuff, and but I will be sure to let you know as soon as that stuff is up there. And I also have a community group that's going to be available for the channel members on Facebook. So that'll be a fun place for us to all visiting and stuff. Clover's back. Her and Jackson, I think, got into a fight, and he pulled a bunch of her hair out. So now, Christina, you asked about moisturizer for hooves. No, I don't moisturize hooves at all. I never use it, and I found that a healthy diet is all that a horse needs to correct hoof issues. Out of all the horses that I've owned anyway, I use a product called California Trace, and that has been fantastic for so many horses. For so many horses' feet, I've seen a lot of things get corrected. So, okay, so something I have to ask you guys. Somebody emailed me today about this, and I thought it was kind of a cute idea, but he said that I need to come up with a name for all my viewers, or my subscribers, whatever. And I thought that was a really good idea. So like, I'll use Fallon Taylor for example. Fallon Taylor, she has a horse named Baby Flo, And so she calls everybody on her channel her Flomies. And she always says, "What's up, Flomies?" And it's really funny. And I thought it was a really cute idea when somebody mentioned it today. So I don't know what I would call you guys, though. I don't know, barn crew. So it's something to think on. So think about that. Leave me a comment if you can come up with a name for all my people. I think it would be, but it has to be something like fun. Like, so if I said versatile student, like it has to be something that's like kind of catchy, and like I get Fallon Taylor saying Flomies because it's like, hey homies. But you know, I call the kids here barn rats because they're barn rats. And I don't know, I call everybody else like barn family, that kind of stuff. So huh? Louise is gonna love her new house. That's great. So you guys think on that for me, okay? Try to help me come up with something that I can say. All my people. There's another channel that says Notification Squad. That's what they do. But I don't know. I'll have to think on that. Versatile people. Evan says, I don't know about that. Versatile is too long of a word. If I ever named a business again, it would never be like versatile horsemanship is so long. It's just a mouthful. But it was really the only thing I could like come up with that fit what I do. So, but yeah, so you guys, if you want to think on that, that would be really great. So thank you very much. Barney's. Hey, Barney's. I don't know if I can go Barney. We'll see. So, all right. So you guys think on that for me. Thank you so much. If you enjoyed this video, leave a comment. Let me know what you think about it. And, you know, if you want to see when I trim other horses and stuff, I can do that for sure. So, all right. Well, I guess I will see you tomorrow. I don't have, hey, Tova. I see that. It's really loud. Something that I could do video-wise is, hey, Tova, you got to wait to nail things until after the video is over, though, okay? Okay, thanks. It's supposed to rain again tomorrow, so we'll see if you guys will be able to hear me or anything. But some people have requested doing a video on, like, kind of my story. I don't know. Are you guys interested in that? Is that something that you'd like to see? I'd be happy to do it if enough people are interested in it. So I'd be happy to tell my story. And then it would solve the mystery of what my previous job was, what my career was before I became a horse person. You guys notice? Hey, I'm just going to say this in front of everybody. Do you notice how my kid is not listening to me? She's not listening to me. Yeah, so you know what? She just lost screen time tomorrow. Yeah, because she's not listening to me, and I don't put up with that. Okay. All right. So, well, maybe I'll do my story tomorrow. We'll see how many people comment on it. Leave a comment in the description, or not in the description, but in the comment section. That'd be really great. Okay, guys. Have a great night. Bye.